Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something today. In business, there are no enemies, only opportunities. But there are rules, economic rules. When a country becomes strong, it gets attention. When a country becomes too strong, it gets pressure. That's the global market. And now we say India will pay tariffs. Oh wait, is this a punishment? It is a sign, a signal, that India has stepped into the big league. Tariffs are not for the weak. Tariffs are for those who are doing something right. You don't put tariffs on a country that's not competing. This is not a moment to panic. It's a wake-up call. For years, China paid tariffs, heavy ones. We complained. But did we stop? We turned those tariffs into motivation. We upgraded, we innovated, we globalized. India now must do the same. When someone taxes your products, it means your products are too cheap, too good, too competitive. That's business. And if you think this is unfair, I say this life is unfair. But business is about turning unfairness into an advantage. What India needs is not to fight the tariffs. India needs to fight mediocrity. Innovate faster. Build stronger brands. Move up the value chain. Tariffs cannot stop a company that knows its mission. Tariffs cannot stop a country that knows its future. Look at Alibaba. In the beginning, nobody believed we could compete with Amazon, with eBay. We had no money, no technology, but we had a vision, a dream, a hunger that is more powerful than capital. So I say this to every Indian entrepreneur watching this. Don't cry about tariffs. Don't fight the old system. Build a new one. One that's so strong, so valuable, that even tariffs cannot hold you down. Remember, pressure creates titans. And right now, India is under pressure. This is good. This is powerful. This is the moment you stop being the market of the future and become a leader of today. You can pay tariffs, but never pay with your spirit. Never pay with your hope. Pay the price. Yes, but use that payment as fuel to grow, to learn, to scale. India will pay tariffs. But India must also collect dividends. Dividends of courage, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I believe this is the beginning of something beautiful. The rise of a new economy. The rise of a nation that refuses to be stopped. So go out there and build something no one can tax your mindset, your resilience, your future. When a country starts facing tariffs, most people panic. They say, why us? What did we do wrong? But that is the wrong way to think. Tariffs are not a punishment, they are a compliment in disguise. Nobody taxes products that are weak or irrelevant. Tariffs come when your goods are so competitive, so powerful, that others start feeling the pressure. You are doing something right, and now the world is responding. This is the real face of global business. When you enter the global arena, you don't get applause. You get challenges. You don't get welcomed, you get tested. Tariffs are one of those tests. They are not designed to destroy you. They are there to measure you. To ask you, how strong are you really? How much do you believe in your product? How fast can you adapt? India should not view tariffs with fear. India should view them as an alert signal, a sign that the engine is running, that the world has started to notice. When you're invisible, no one taxes you. When you're strong, people take action. That's the rule of competition. So now the question is not how do we avoid tariffs. The question is how do we grow bigger than them. Every business, every entrepreneur, every exporter in India must take this moment personally, not emotionally, but strategically. This is a time to evolve. If someone is putting a price on your entry, that means your entry has value. So prove that value. Don't just make cheaper products, make better ones. Don't just deliver faster, deliver smarter. Build your systems, your branding, your quality, and your technology to a level where tariffs cannot hurt your progress. Make yourself necessary. Make yourself irreplaceable. This is what the top companies of the world did. They didn't cry about the tariffs. They redesigned their strategies. They built deeper partnerships. They focused on long-term growth. The winners in the global economy are not the ones who complain about the rules, they are the ones who use the rules to create better games. If India is being targeted with tariffs, it means it is now a player that matters. That alone should inspire confidence. But confidence without action is useless. This is the time to rethink how we produce, how we package, how we compete. This is not about low price anymore, this is about high value. If tariffs go up, so must your quality. If the gate is higher, your elite must be stronger. For many decades, countries paid their dues to become global powers. Tariffs were part of that payment. But what they got in return was priceless experience, toughness, and global influence. India is on that same road now. It is time to stop thinking like a local supplier and start behaving like a global brand. Tariffs are pressure. But pressure is where real business grows. Pressure is when you stop copying and start creating. It's when you stop surviving and start scaling. This is the season where new leaders are born, where new strategies are tested, and where bold moves matter. So don't fear tariffs. Understand them. Respond to them. Use them as energy. Let them be the fire that forces you to upgrade everything from your mindset to your methods. Because in the long run, it's not about how much tariff you pay. It's about how much value you create despite paying it. The game has begun. And India is now part of it. The smart players will rise. The prepared ones will lead. The confident ones will create new systems. And those who take tariffs as a compliment, not a complaint, will win. You can pay tariffs. You can pay taxes. You can even pay penalties. But never pay with your mindset. Because once your thinking is broken, nothing else matters. The biggest cost in business is not money, it's losing your spirit. Markets rise and fall. Rules change. Competitors evolve. But if your mindset stays sharp, you will always find a way forward. When India hears the words "you will pay tariffs," the reaction should not be fear, it should be focus. Focus on what truly builds long-term strength, belief, clarity, and adaptation. Tariffs are temporary. Conditions change. But the mindset of a country, of its entrepreneurs, its manufacturers, its exporters, that is what decides whether this is a barrier or a breakthrough. Paying extra for exporting goods can feel unfair. It can even slow growth for a while. But this is where mental strength comes in. Great companies are not built in easy times. They are built during storms. When everything feels difficult, when the world questions your place, when pressure mounts, that's when your real denial shows. And the now success is built on mindset. You must see the situation not as an attack, but as a challenge. Not as the end, but as a beginning. Tariffs may increase your costs, but they cannot decrease your courage unless you let them. They may limit some markets, but they cannot limit your innovation unless you stop trying. You may face new hurdles, but hurdles only block your path if you stop moving. This is the moment to protect the most important asset you have, your thinking. Are you thinking like a victim? Or like a creator? Are you planning defense? Or are you building a fence? Because the world does not reward those who shrink under pressure. It rewards those who think differently and act decisively. There will be two types of reactions to these tariffs. Some will say, it's too hard. Let's scale down. Others will say, it's hard. So let's scale up our efforts. The first group will pay with their mindset. The second group will grow because of their mindset. That's the difference between decline and progress. Same situation, two outcomes all decided in the mind. When you face new costs, innovate. When you face barriers, look for backdoors, or better yet, build your own gate. When a door closes, don't waste energy knocking, construct a window. That is what powerful thinking does. It does collapse under pressure. It reinvents the game. Look at any major success story in business or even national growth. It always started with someone who refused to surrender their mindset. Tariffs, inflation, competition, slowdowns, these are part of the journey. But they do not define your success unless you let them define your thinking. India has millions of intelligent, hard-working, and creative minds. And no tariff in the world can stop a mind that is determined to grow. So yes, pay the tariff. That is business. That is negotiation. That is part of the global structure. But never pay with your fire, your optimism, your dreams. If your thinking stays strong, your results will follow. If your thinking remains strategic, your market position will adapt. But if your mindset becomes weak, even the best conditions will not help. That is the real cost. So protect your thinking the way you protect your capital. Train it, feed it, strengthen it. Let it see problems not as pain, but as preparation. If you stay mentally sharp now, you will not only survive, you will lead. You will rise. Because in the end, the winners are not the ones who paid the least tariffs. The winners are those who paid every price except their mindset and turned every pressure into possibility.